Today, I'm talking about how to lead without micromanaging. I'll share the hidden dangers of micromanaging that most nonprofit founders are not thinking about, the essential core value that your business needs to be productive. And here's a hint, it's not integrity. And my 3-step framework that you can implement today to start leading your team like the CEO of a $1 million charity. Stay tuned. Hello, founders. My name is Kamala Brown Washington, and I'm the creator of Create a Profitable Charity. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. I'll share revealing conversation and resources to help nonprofit founders develop business strategies that are profitable and scalable. You'll learn tough decisions I've had to make and the biggest failures I've had to bounce back from, and lessons I've learned along the way. So if this is of interest of you, keep watching. Don't forget to comment, give this a thumbs up, and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. Today, I'm talking about how to lead without micromanaging. A lot of people think that the main reason that they micromanage is because maybe they're, super controlling and maybe lack the ability to delegate. But I have a completely different perspective. To me, building a team that's able to create goals, strategize, take ownership of their results, identify problems, and test out solutions is not about delegation, it's about leadership. So micromanaging is really a failure to lead. Leadership is not creating an SOP and then handing it off to somebody and to say, here, do this. That's delegation, okay? So creating SOPs and handing them off is essentially something you will do when you're first getting started in business, and that's fine, but that's not scalable. Do you really think that Bishop T.D. Jakes is sitting around his office writing SOPs and tracking everyone's success in Airtable? Absolutely not. Who has time for that, right? So if you're creating a company and you want the environment to be where everyone is dependent upon you to tell them what to do, then you're going to end up becoming the bottleneck, and that's not a good place to be. And if you're micromanaging every single step of that SOP, then you're definitely going to slow down the progress. That's not scalable either. So you'll get to a point where you'll hit a revenue ceiling because you've built a team that's solely reliant upon you telling them what to do, right? The antidote for everyone relying on you is personal responsibility. You cannot effectively lead your organization without this core value in place. As a CEO, you're responsible to your employees, but you're not responsible for them. Okay, so it's your job to create an environment where they can succeed, but they also need to take ownership of their metrics and accountability for the results that they create. And it's really, really important for you to understand the difference between, say, hiring a social media manager who, just puts out posts, or, they execute strategies and, that was built upon based on your SOPs, versus hiring a social media manager where you co-create goals for them, and those goals support the vision of your company, and then she's responsible for researching the best strategies and creating the SOPs to make it happen. Do you see the difference? So this level of leadership really is not an easy task, and that's why I created my mastermind called $1 Million Charity. While Create a Profitable Charity helps clients establish a business model that generates consistent revenue, $1 Million Charity is a 12-month leadership course that focuses on developing your leadership skills as you transition from employee working a 9-to-5 to CEO of your social enterprise. And it also helps to scale your business model to generate recurring profits. So if this is something that you're struggling with right now within your business and you want coaching support, then I encourage you to send me a DM in Facebook or Instagram so my team can send you a link to my private training. I really want to be able to offer a simple framework to help you get started when it comes to thinking about how you can improve your own leadership, especially when it comes to delegating and developing project planning with your team. Okay, so applying this framework, even if you're simply handing them an SOP, can really improve the results and this overall success of your organization and your programs. And it will also help to begin to set the stage for you becoming the CEO of $1 million charity that you envision. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm going to share my 3-step framework. Okay, number 1, you want to clarify your outcome. What do we want to accomplish? Okay, what do we want to accomplish? So as CEOs, it's our job to be very clear on the outcome we're trying to create and communicate that vision to the rest of our team. Taking the time at the beginning of any project to clarify exactly what outcome that you're looking for or looking to achieve will essentially help the overall company success. Okay, so try not to be vague because that's not really going to give them the proper direction that they need. And then you don't want to start jumping into action because a thriving CEO is about getting results, right? So jumping into action without a clear vision of where you're going can be very expensive. It can cost you time, money, and frustration, right? So have you found yourself in a situation where you think you've clearly described the outcome, but halfway through the project, you realize that your team is on a completely different page? So just keep in mind, and I want you to stand in your truth and be accountable as well, because that's not on them, that's on you. Okay, so here's an example. Let's say you're the captain of a boat and you tell your team that you're going to go to an island. So your team is extremely excited and they're motivated and they want all of you and the whole company to get to this island successfully, right? So you've even developed an SOP on how to get to this island. So they're rowing like crazy, right? But the problem is half the boat is rowing to island A and the other half is rowing to island B. So you're not really going anywhere and the team is exhausted. And then you get to the point to where you're angry because the boat's not moving forward. They become upset with you for not giving them clear direction, even though you wrote an SOP, okay? It's not just you that's frustrated, they're frustrated as well, okay? And it creates an environment of chaos, confusion, blame, and finger pointing. So trust me, your team wants to win, but it's your job to clearly define what that win looks like. And effective CEOs clearly take the time to clarify the wins before they dig into the hows, okay? Step 2. Clarify your intent. Why are we doing this? Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your team is coming to you and asking endless questions? It's frustrating to you because you feel like that you've clearly, described exactly what that particular project or task is. You just need them to start thinking for themselves, right? It's frustrating for them because they see that you're getting annoyed, but they also feel like they don't have enough information to make the proper decisions. And so it just continues. And then after a while, they begin to feel like it's impossible to please you. And that's going to lead to resentment. And, long story short, it just becomes a really unhealthy environment for everyone. So when your team keeps asking you questions, it's because they aren't clear on the intent. And they don't understand why their project is as important as it is, and they really need you to dig a little bit deeper. Once they understand exactly what the project is going to consist of, it gives them somewhat of a filter to help them make decisions, okay? So they know the what, they know the where, but do they know the why? Okay, so it's also important that you share the why. If they know the why, then it's even more information that they have to make decisions along the way. So if something unexpected occurs that really caught them off guard, it will help them navigate through that problem, because now they have all of the tools and the resources that's needed to clearly understand what is expected, and it helps to manage their level of expectations, okay? So let's go back to that example. You're the captain of the boat, right? And you tell your team that you need to get to the island by 7 o'clock on Friday. They're like, oh, great. No problem. We got you. So now the boat is moving, right? They're going to the correct island, but the boat's moving just a little bit slow. So they start throwing cargo outside the boat because they want the boat to move faster so you can get there by Friday at 7. Okay, the problem is the reason you need to be there by Friday is because a company has already purchased the cargo and you need to deliver it on Saturday, which they are not aware of, right? You just told your team you wanted to arrive on Friday, but you didn't tell them why. So effective CEOs of sustainable cherries don't just, clarify the what, but they also need to clarify the why. Step 3. Clarify your success metrics. How do we determine if we're successful? So it's the day before your project is complete and your team comes to you with some bad news, right? They're saying, we're not going to have this project done by tomorrow. And you're like, well, I asked you, when do you think is a realistic time frame to get this complete? And optimistically, they said Tuesday, right? And then that Tuesday became Friday. And then that Friday became that next Monday. And it just goes on and on and on. Okay, so because of this, you eventually just jump in and you try and do everything yourself. Now they feel defeated and annoyed because they've been working overtime trying to get this project complete. And here you go swooping in to save the day. But they're feeling resentment because they don't feel that you trust them. And probably deep down, you don't quite trust them because they're not carrying out what your desires are. But again, you have to understand it's not them, it's you. Did you clearly explain all of the elements of the project and the reason why you needed certain things done in a certain way? So if you're the captain of the boat and you intend to arrive to your destination within 14 days in order to deliver the cargo, the team needs all of the resources and the information and the tools so they can determine whether they're on track or off track. Are they making progress? Or are they like falling way behind, right? So now it's day 7 of your 14-day project and only 10% of the project is complete. That's a serious problem, okay? So it's important that you are able to break down a big goal into smaller milestones. And by defining specific metrics to determine whether those smaller milestones are completed successfully will radically improve your team's chances of completing the project successfully and on time. Okay? If you are deadline driven, like I'm deadline driven, you want projects completed before the due date, right? As they say, early is on time is late. So they will need to come back to you and ask if they're on track. They'll already know because you've clearly defined what those smaller milestones are and what those metrics look like. Okay, so if there is a problem, if there is a bump on the road or something unexpectedly pops up, they'll kind of know how to navigate through that because they already know what the barometer of success looks like. Okay? Attracting and retaining top talent for your team requires you to be clear in your communication and your desired outcome, the intent, the success metrics, and what your expectations are of each team member. Okay? So please let me know down in the comments what was your number one takeaway from today's training. Send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook and just let me know. If you're ready to stop self-funding and start generating consistent revenue for your program, join me inside my signature program, Create a Profitable Charity. You'll get content, coaching, and the community you need to successfully implement our proprietary strategic system into your organization. This will allow you to start reaping the rewards of running a highly profitable social enterprise. Create a Profitable Charity is a lifetime group coaching experience exclusively created for nonprofit founders who are ready to transition from ministry to business. If you made it to the end of this video, please comment thank you below. Let me know what value you received from this training. It's my ambition to provide you with valuable information that helps you reach your goal to become profitable and scalable. As always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, a thumbs up, and please click the link below to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And most of all, please feel free to share this video with someone else who you think needs to see it. Until next week, remember, nonprofit is a tax status, not a business model. I wish you profitable success. See you later. Bye-bye.